Testing, testing. 1, 2, test. What's going on, guys? Sammy One Wolf, Samuel Productions here, back with another top 20 list for y'all today. Because I'm almost done with this actual series by having a blast doing this series with y'all. Today I'm here to talk about my top 20 best movies of 2019. Again, another year where I've seen so many movies, like so many incredible, fantastic movies. It's actually hard to craft the actual list. This is definitely another year I've been like so back and forth about. But I'm still very excited. I feel like I got the actual list for you guys all, so I hope you'll enjoy. As always, I'd love to know your favorites down below in the comment section. I'd love to have a good conversation about that down below in the comment section. And as always, before we get to the actual list, let's get into the honorable mentions, shall we? And the honorable mentions are Blinded by the Light, The Souvenir, Yesterday, The Last Black Man in San Francisco, Jojo Rabbit, Ready or Not, The Farewell, Someone Great, Shazam, Us, Dragged Across Concrete, Frozen 2, Terminator Dark Fate, Claws, Zombieland Double Tap, El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, Dolomite is my name, Joker, Always Be My Maybe, and the film that just missed the list, Spider-Man Far From Home. Yeah, those are the I mentioned. Let's get to some really incredible movies that came out in this year. Again, another year I've seen so many movies, so yeah, let's get to the actual list, shall we? Okay, kicking off the list at number 20. There was definitely a debate on what was going to be my number 20. I definitely was a little bit back and forth on it. But yeah, I thought I would have filmed that. Honestly, still my favorite, in terms of the movies, is my favorite video game movie. It's one I come to very often and one I enjoy the more. And that is Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Definitely one of the biggest surprises to come out. I was not expecting to enjoy as much as I did. And again, I'm multiple rewatches. I continue to enjoy so much of this movie. Again, it definitely has its issues, that's for sure. But for what it does, it definitely delivers on the detective aspect, the mystery aspect, and how it brings the Pokemon world to life action is actually incredible. Like, the visuals on the Pokemon are immaculate, incredible, and just beautiful. The way it builds this world is interesting, and Ryan Reynolds plays a great job playing Detective Pikachu. Not really going for too much Deadpool, but kind of doing his own thing, and I kind of like what they went in his character, even though it was definitely a bit obvious what's going on with Pikachu, but it was still playing aspect, and his back and forth with Just Smith's character, who was also pretty good as well. Definitely made the movie so much fun and entertaining, very humorous moments, very off the kilter moments, and moments that definitely are very over the top, but over the top in the best possible ways. A film that overall just put a big grin on my face throughout. Now at number 19, I originally had Ford v Ferrari at number 19, but I totally forgot about one other movie. I almost forgot that. I was like, oh, I almost forgot about the movie. So it's a film that probably would be in your mentions, honestly, at least the one that's close to missing it, just a heads up. Because number 19, I do have Wild Rose. I'm sure wondering, what's Wild Rose? Exactly. It's about, I did hear a couple rumblings about, but not too much about it. I think I heard about maybe about a couple of movie friends, honestly, that I think I should check it out. And I remember watching it and I ended up loving it, and it ended up making my best movies of the year list. I think it was around this time, at least a bit high on this list, but Wild Rose, I think, is a beautiful movie. It's a very realistic movie. Again, it's basically one of those music movies where basically someone gets released from prison and she has to deal with the ups and downs of trying to make a decision while also trying to take care of her family and all the struggle with family alongside her mom. In some ways, it is kind of a film seen before, but again, it's not a case of a film where the writing, the characters, and the performances do really make it stand out. Of course, one being Jesse Buckley, who I think is one of the best performances of the year, in my opinion, bringing this unique, interesting character to life and make her feel real and sympathetic while being flawed. And then the other actors like Julia Waters also is great as well. Everyone does a really good job bringing these characters to life, making them feel real and well realized. And the music is really well done as well, especially with the song Gaslight and No Place Like Home. You should listen to that song, it's beautiful. So it's definitely one of those underappreciated gems that you should just definitely check out. Now at number 18, not sure when we have it on this list, but number 18 we have another Fast and Furious movie, and that's Hobbs and Shaw, which I think is actually one of the best Fast and Furious movies. Yes, I am dead serious. Yeah, it's that one of the movies like Pikachu. The more I watched it, the more I enjoyed it. I always loved Hobbs and Shaw when I first saw it, but the more I watched the movie, it becomes one of the most rewatchable movies of the Fast and Furious franchise. It's definitely up there with like Fast 6 and Fast 5 as the most rewatchable, in my opinion. Again, it definitely feels dumb and insane and ridiculous, but again, it's still, this one case where I think it still works and still, I don't think they go like too insane in this movie, even though honestly, again, I like how it brings a lot more character to Hobbs, and Brendan Johnson is great. Again, I obviously would probably get Hobbs and Shaw considering the great chemistry back and forth they had in Fast and Furious. While it does kind of play the tropes of the body cop movie, seeing like The Rock and Statham just go constantly back and forth between each other, it's just so much fun to watch. The action's still fun and great, the directing is great, as David Leitch was talking about, so he's great. Professor Kirby, that was a nice addition to the movie as well. Idris Elba, Hams, and you tell Idris Elba, you can tell he's having the time of his life playing what he calls Black Superman, which, oh my god, that line still cracks me up to this day. Again, it's kind of like what you expect from Master franchise, but again, it's a film that just puts a big grin on my face. Especially like the cameo piece we get from Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Hart in this movie. Again, it's a film that's just so hilarious, charming. The great acting between The Rock and Jason Statham is great. Unfortunately, I'm not planning on getting an actual sequel to this movie, but what we got, this movie is still great. Now, coming in number 17, I'm not sure whether I'm going to be happy the movie is much higher on this list, but again, it's still an incredible movie. Just the one I can see myself dramatic often, and that is 1917, which is number 17. Yeah, it's still one of those like very great directed and unique war movies with how it directs, and like I said, this definitely has some of the best directing of the year, like the shots, the cinematography. On a directing level, it's phenomenal. It's beautiful. It's harrowing. It's like Sam Mendes does the shit out of this movie. Like he really does. You can get great performances from the great cast with George McKay and Mark Strong. Like you got a great cast here. It's a very impactful movie. But it's definitely one of those movies that's just not that rewatchable. And I'm not really sure what it is, honestly. It's probably one of those movies that's to watch once every once in a while, not like constantly, honestly. At least just me, honestly, and for my guy, I don't know if it's just me or whatever, but I do think this is a fantastic war movie. Definitely one of the best war movies of all time. And it delivers the emotion, the experience, but it's definitely one of those experiences it's best to have every once in a while. And unfortunately, I also never got a chance to see this movie in the theaters, so I would have loved it more if I saw it in the theaters, but overall, it's still a great enough movie to where it is obviously on this list. Now, at number 16, a film I always thought that would be pretty underappreciated. Well, yeah, it may not reach like the true outstanding highs of the first movie, but still, I still think does a really good job, and that is the Lego Movie 2, the second part. Yeah, I've always loved this movie too, because I never understood why people did not like this movie, honestly. I've always loved it when I first saw it, and I still enjoy multiple rewatches. Should have made some characters cook out of screen time. It does go in very like all killer directions, which is kind of like this franchise kind of like disappearing at this movie. But basically, if you love the previous movies, you'll definitely enjoy this one. I definitely have big grin on my face throughout. The humor is still great and zany. I like what it actually takes the characters and the directions that go for it. And the humor is creeping me to end. The music is still really catchy. Like the catchy song is just, oh my god, like, that song's gonna get stuck inside your head, stuck inside your head, stuck in head, like, going, and that cracks me up. I think I like what did Batman here, and also the big twist involving who this Rex character is, like, I don't know if it's gonna be obvious now, but it's definitely a pretty interesting twist, and I like how when it manifests to, or how it keeps with the themes of the previous movies and these characters. It's just kind of a little bit more the same, but it does go in more different, unique directions. So, I definitely have big grin on my face throughout, and it goes with some very interesting emotional structures that I was very satisfied with. And number 13, we have John Wick 3, John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. There's all John Wick 3s that made these lists, honestly, but that's because John Wick is definitely one of the best action franchises of all time, like I said originally. And Chapter 3, like, I always go back and forth which of the three movies I think aren't the best, honestly. Or not, I think Chapter 4 is probably the best, honestly, but again, I always go back and forth between the actual three movies, and Chapter 3 I think is a fantastic movie that somehow makes action even more insanity, has a very compelling narrative, goes in some very like out there directions. It basically like Tears 1 makes them feel so great. The great action, the great characters, Great performances, great world buildings, great surprises, great music, great cinematography. Just so much to love about these movies that you expect are here. And it delivers a pure beauty action experience. Okay. Now, coming in at number 14, we have Honey Boy. For those who don't know who Honey Boy is, it's actually a film that's actually based off the childhood of the actor Shia LaBeouf, and it's also based on the relationship of his father. And also, he went through that aspect, and I wasn't sure what to expect going into this movie, but I remember being blown away by it when I felt like, holy shit, this is really emotional stuff. So it is actually written by Shia LaBeouf as well. It's actually based on a lot of stuff he went through, and the way the film it goes back and forth between a lot. I mean, Shia LaBeouf even plays his fucking father in this movie. Yeah, Shia LaBeouf plays his own father in this movie, which I'm sorry, this is easily his best performance. Say what you will about the guy, but this is easily his best performance. Like, holy shit, does he deliver the raw and emotion needed for this character. And Lucas Hedges also does one of his best performances as well. Like, the acting in general is just top-notch great. The way it's directed is very unique. The way it's structured is very unique. Yeah, it's probably not one of the movies that's best to watch like every once in a while, not like constantly. But it's a film that's definitely a film that everyone needs to watch at one point, because it's a really beautiful and really interesting experience, especially when it comes to the directing, performances, the writing. Like, it is just one hell of a movie. Now, coming in at number 13, not sure, it's going to be happy on this list, and some people may not be happy, but in the end, I decided to go with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, of all the things that Quentin Tarantino has done, again, I'm someone that's always a fan of Quentin Tarantino, this is the one that's honestly the most divisive of his movies. Like, it's one of the movies that either you love it or you kind of hate it, whether because of the runtime, whether because of the fact that it's not really too much of a big story throughout the movie if you really think about it. So it's definitely to everybody, but honestly, it's one of the movies that, well, yeah, it does make me feel long at times, honestly, but it's a film that, thanks to the performances of his cast, thanks to the interesting characters, the insane stuff that happens throughout the movie, and the interesting back and forth that happens. It's one of those films where really the cinematography, the directing, the crazy moments, and the characters, it's what makes it worth the watch. Like, the characters here are fantastic. Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt are all fantastic. Margot Robbie is great. Sharon Tate. Like, these others play like actual real characters, and they all feel like they're having the time of their lives playing these characters and playing these interesting type of people, which is definitely interesting. Again, it's definitely a very weird movie, and it's not going to be for everybody, but it's a film I'm going to have having a big grin on my face throughout for the humor, the back and forth, the charm, the directing, some moments that are just very awe-inspiring. Like, I don't know if I call it like a true top-tier Tarantino movie, but even just seeing that it's still fantastic, definitely is a testament to how amazing Tarantino is as a director. And now we have another movie that has gone so much higher than my last ranking, and that is Longshot. Definitely one of the best comedies to come out of 2010s in my opinion. One that, again, the more I watched it, the more I enjoyed it. And yeah, the film definitely has your typical familiar type of structure with the movie called Longshot, where basically see a journalist played by Seth Rogen who reunites with his former babysitter, Charlize Theron. But it's really the actors, the writing, and the characters that do make it work. And all the chemistry between these two actors is just immaculate and great. Again, Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron, surprising that she has great comedic chops on. So I don't think we see her much in comedic movies, but this proves that when she does, she just nails. I mean, she's a fantastic actress, so it's obviously no surprise there. But Jesus, that she delivered in this movie. You got performances like Andy Serkis, Odenkirk, Alison Skarsgård, Ravi Patti, Lisa Kudrow, Ho-Che Jackson Jr., who definitely steals every single thing he's in, and his back for Seth Rogen is great as well. And it kind of goes to typical trappings and what you expect for a romance comedy to do, but they're not the trappings that are usually like, annoying, and that's because of the comedy. It's, again, an already comedy that's actually consistent with this comedy, that's actually consistent, that actually has so much heart and so much charm to it. They can't help but smile and have a big grin on your face throughout. So you actually do want to see these characters get together. So yeah, while it may not like change the landscape of the comedies, this is definitely one of the best ones to come out in recent memory. And now at number 11, we also get to one of the best music biopics in recent memory, and that is Rockin Man. I'm a Rockin Man. I'm a Rockin Man. Rockin Man. And of course, those known on this actually is the biopic on Elton John, who of course is one of the biggest musicians of all time, going kind of back and forth throughout the lives of what he went through, his relationships through certain things along his life, and it's a biopic that really does tell you a lot about Elton John and who he is as an actor, who he is as a person, what he went through with his family, and just getting of his musical journey. And it delivers all what a music biopic should do. Honestly, this was not a time where I was always getting like disappointed biopic after disappointed biopic, but this was when it does well. It can really hit a lot of emotions. And a lot of that actually also thanks not the amazing directing by Dr. Fletcher, but the outstanding, phenomenal performance by Taron Egerton. Like, holy shit, I still think this guy should have got nominated. Like, the fact he did it is a fucking crime. Like, this is easily by a landslide the best performances. And he's always been a good actor, but jeez, the emotion, the passion, the heart, and you can tell he was really bringing it all in this character, bringing Elton John to life. You really even see him as Elton John. Like, that's incredible. Now his voice is incredible. I mean, we thought he wouldn't have a voice considering he was in the singing for this, but damn, again, the fact that he didn't get nominated was a fucking shame. I don't try to say no Oscar stuff lately, but I think I'm not the only one that does that. And he also got other performances from Jimmy Bell, Richard Madden, Bryce Dallas Howard, who all have great moments as well. The music is still great, it's fucking Elton John. It's directed amazingly and uniquely. It is a wonderful, beautiful movie. Definitely one of the best musical biopics to come out in recent memory. Speaking of performances that I feel like should have got Oscar nomination, is a fucking crime they didn't. At number 10, we got Uncut Gems. A film that I always had so many interesting and outstanding things about. I always thought a little later than most people. When I did watch it, I was blown away, and 3 times I watched it, it is just an outstanding, like, this is tense to the nth degree. A film that really feels like an actual anxiety attack happening on screen. That's really what the film feels like. I mean, that's just how it's described, but it's definitely the best way to describe it. And of course, the performance I'm talking about is Adam Sandler, who I definitely agree is probably the best performance of his career. Like, oh my god, like, and right, but the Adam Sandler's comedic aspects are just questionable, but like he's some of the worst comedies ever made. This one proves that I thought that once he can do dramatic roles pretty well, he can deliver, and he definitely does that with Uncut Gems. This is easily the best performance that he has ever given in his career. The emotion, the passion, the passion, the interesting, making this interesting, unlikable asshole actually feeling compelling and interesting and not sure what's going to happen. Oh my god, it is so tense to the F degree. You also got Lakeith Stanfield, Julia Fox, Kevin Garnett, Adele Menzen, and even The Weeknd, all really good performances and some nice back and forths throughout. And the film that just really delivers on the intensity. I don't keep saying intensity, but that's really the best way to describe this movie. Intense to the F degree. Combined out great direction, great cinematography, top-notch editing and music, and you got a recipe for a tense thrill ride. Now, coming in at number 9, we have Fighting With My Family, a film that actually has gone up onto the actual list. And it has already on the list, but it has climbed up a few spots. But when I thought about it, a film that's based on the story on Professor Sarah Page, and it is an incredibly heartwarming and wonderful movie. A film that doesn't kind of go in the direction you expect, but considering this is also based on Sarah Page, kind of does have to. But it still goes in a very interesting direction. It's still a very heartwarming movie about family and being an underdog and all that stuff. And yeah, this was the first movie I saw Florence Pugh in pretty much anything. And this 2019 was a great year for Florence Pugh, considering, I mean, say what you love in Miss Selma, but she was fantastic that movie. Spoiler, the movie did not make the list. And same with Wonder Woman. And of course, she had like a great performance before that. With even the movies aren't that good, she always delivers. And for this being her breakthrough role, she absolutely delivers, bringing this character to life. I think she owns the character, and she delivers so much great back and forth throughout. Honestly, I also like her relationship with her brother for the movie and her family, played by Lena Headey, Nick Frost, and Jack Lund. Vince Vaughn is also pretty good as well. You guys get pins for The Rock, and he was pretty good as well. Like, the acting is all around great. The story is really compelling. The heart is great. It's one that puts a big grin smile on your face throughout. Yeah, it's one of the films that will make you love and appreciate your family after you watch it. There's still some pretty great emotional, intense sequences throughout, especially towards the second half of the movie. Like, some moments get really emotional, and the acting is just top notch. Even the wrestling scenes, I think some of the best wrestling scenes we've seen in pretty much any movie in a while. And around the film that just feels so much harder, you can't help but have a big grin on your face throughout, feeling for these characters and what they're going through. And it just delivers on all those fronts. Now, coming in at number 8, we got the conclusion to one of the best animated trilogies of all time, and that is How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. Now, it's probably these probably my least favorite of the 3 movies, honestly. All 3 of these movies are fantastic. All 3 of the How to Train Your Dragon movies are phenomenal. Again, one of the best animated trilogies of all time. I'm glad they actually, aside from that, we're getting a live action adaptation that's not going to actually continue the story. Of this one at least, so that's that at least. But they actually still commit to ending the series is amazing. It's incredible. And this is honestly one of the most satisfying endings to any trilogy I have ever seen. Like, the ending still gets me every single time. The love story is pretty good for the limited screen time it gets. The back and forth between a lot of these characters is still great though. I think the villain's actually pretty underrated here actually. The animation is breathtaking, the action is great, the characters are great. Pretty much have what you love about the previous movies, but go into more interesting and serious direction involving the dragons and life, and dealing with the themes of the previous movies, and delivering a pure, raw, emotional ending that just puts a big emotional grin on your face. Again, I couldn't think of any more satisfying. Now, coming in at number 7, we have Dr. Sleep, the sequel to The Shining. Like, it was already a hard enough task to create a sequel to what's arguably one of the best horror movies of all time. But it's trying to be the best horror movie ever made. Like, I mean, it's definitely my top 3, honestly. But they already like this, despite the film being at number 7, it never actually tried to top the original. And trying to, well, it definitely had reference to the original, it's still trying to do his own thing. And I think it delivered on that. Definitely there's more bit of adaptation to them, at least what Stephen King said, honestly. Ian McGregor does one of his best performances that he's ever given, putting the emotion and interesting aspects to life. Kelly Curtin's great, Cliff Curtis is really well, like, and Rebecca Ferguson though easily steals the show. Like, oh my god, Rebecca Ferguson steals every single scene that she is in. Holy shit. That was one of the best horror movie villains that we have ever seen. Like, delivers every single scene that she's in. You can tell she's having the time of her life playing this character, and all the crazy moments that happen with her is just phenomenal. You get a lot of interesting, surprising moments that happen throughout the movie, some really shocking aspects to it. The directing, the cinematography. Mike Flanagan, this is the definition of proof that he's an incredible director. And it's pretty fortunate the film did not end up being like a big success, honestly, because it definitely deserves so much more, honestly. It delivered on being an interesting continuation and sequel to The Shining, but also kind of being its own thing, honestly, and it tried to sound worth it as well as it did, and while also being scary and terrifying. It's a masterclass. Now, at number 6, we basically have a film that I just also saw a lot later, and I actually don't think I actually have rewatched in a while, but I do remember very fondly. That is Waves. Again, Waves is honestly a beautiful, breathtaking movie that explores a lot of very real stuff that happens while having like great characters that you care about. It's also done by Trey Edward Schultz, who, of course, did It Comes at Night 2017, which, to be honest, I kind of hate that movie. I don't like it at all. Then he did Christian 2016, which honestly is a film I think is also pretty underappreciated. But also, I also think this is obviously his best movie that he's done. It's honestly, I don't really have a lot to say about it. It's just a very real and emotionally impactful movie with incredible performances from his cast, from Kevin Ellison Jr., Taylor Russell, Luke Hedges, like Silicon Brown, like you get a pretty emotional cast, and A film that goes through some pretty up and down emotional stuff, and even though some very interesting subjects as well. Turned out with some of the most beautiful and breathtaking cinematography that A24 has ever done, the incredible directing, the great performances, the interesting real characters. You can't help but fall in love with what goes on during this movie, and it's a movie you should see for yourself. And now, kicking off the top 5, we have The Peanut Butter Falcon, a film I've always told when I first saw in the theaters, and a film I still can't get out. It's one of the most feel-good movies of all time. A film that just can't have having a big, heartfelt grin on your face throughout the entire runtime. Again, that film I think has gotten better on multiple rewatches, and I always have a great time whenever I do come back to it again. Another film that has Shia LaBeouf one of his best performances that he's given. Ever the two movies where Shia LaBeouf gives some great performances, I just not realize that actually until now, but he delivers here as well, delivering an interesting character you still do care about. This guy Zach Gumson, who I think he's also an actor, actually has Down syndrome in real life, if I remember correctly, but he also delivers a great portrayal of Down syndrome in this movie. And his back and forth between him and Shia LaBeouf is definitely the heart and soul of the movie. The sweet moments, the constant back and forth between these characters. You just can't have a big grin on your face during every scene they have together, and they have some really heartfelt stuff. And even Dakota Johnson I thought was great as well. That was one of her best performances, but one of her bad performances in a while. Even people like John Hawkes and John Bernthal and Thomas Hayden Church. Everyone is fantastic in their roles, and they live a very real character. You get a pretty interesting final sequences throughout the movie, and pretty emotional ending throughout. Find out with great directing, great music. Just the definition of a good feel-good movie with great laughs, great heart, and great emotion. Now coming in at number 4 is Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4. Yeah, I'm not sure whether I'm happy with this pick, but I am just as surprised as everybody this film ended up being on the list at all. I'm like many people, I was cynical about this movie. I was not excited at all. Even the trailer, I was like, really? Why do we need another Toy Story? And then, Forky? That's the best we come up with? And by something we got about Woody? Like, huh? Okay. But in the end, the film won me over. And the film that I think has gotten better. I think it's actually one of the best anime movies ever made. I'm dead serious. And I think it's actually probably my second or probably at least the third best in the Toy Story franchise. I think, yeah, I'm dead serious. It's one that I don't think it's gotten better the more I think about it. It's a film I don't really understand a lot of the critiques of the movie, honestly. Like, I don't know, some people say it's like a travesty, character assassination. And like, it's why we think that, but just because you think that doesn't mean I'm not going to understand that. I'm not trying to mean or anything, obviously, but that's just what I'm saying. But yeah, oh my god. But I definitely like the new characters like Forky, the two stuffed animals like King Kill. I tried to rush into some of the characters. I know some of the supporting characters didn't get much to do, but considering some of the stories felt some of the story. When Toy Story 3, I think it kind of made sense, honestly. It's probably the best easy Bo Peep has been as a character, and I like her back for the Woody. Duke Boom is easy as show stealer. The animation is phenomenal, beautiful, some of the most realistic animation ever. I think again, in my opinion, is the best Toy Story film to be content. I am dead serious. Hell, I even like the ending. I actually liked how it ended. I know some said avoid extra out character, but I never got that honestly. I thought it actually makes sense for his character. And overall, it was a pretty emotional movie that delivers great music and basically what you expect from Toy Story, just going in a more different direction. And I was actually pretty satisfied. Which I think they might bring in more Toy Story 5, which I think I'm even more cynical about, but honestly, who knows? Pixar has always surprised us, honestly. Pixar has always surprised us, so who knows? Maybe deliver another excellent movie, but I guess we'll see how it goes. Now in the top 3 people, and at number 3 we have another film that I think has gone to appreciate more than what I watch in, that is Knives Out. But this is the definition of a murder mystery done right. We got Ryan Johnson, of course, is actor of Last Shy, which obviously I love Last Shy, but I know the film was very divisive, so. But it's a film I was going to be very excited for, and I was actually really pumped to check out, and I was blown away when I first saw it. And the film I definitely still enjoy it. Again, it's how you do a murder mystery right, with how you direct it, how you make you keep guessing what's going to happen, and once the reveal happens, you basically look back and you're like, how did they get this sooner? And that's what Knives Out does, honestly. And starting with Daniel Craig, who I think his character Blanco, Ben Blanc, is definitely going to be like one of the best new movie characters in recent memory, and he definitely does one hell of a performance here. And you got just a stacked cast all around. Chris Evans, Anthony Armis, Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Shannon, Don Johnson, Tony Collette, Keith Stanfield, Catherine Logan, Christopher Plummer. Again, top-notch actors, and they all deliver so great. Having them each one have their own developed characters, their own interesting reasons to why someone because of the murder. And you just keep guessing yourself throughout the movie. You don't really know the reveal. It's still fun to watch seeing lots of kids go back and forth with each other. Again, Dan Craig's fantastic here. And obviously it's a show stealer, but everyone still has their great moments that make you smile and just fantastic to watch. And the mystery aspect is great. The murder aspect is interesting. Like, it's a murder mystery done right. It's a film that I think has definitely grown on me so much the more I watch it. So I think it's honestly easy. Ryan Johnson's like best work that he's done. And while the Glass Onion is definitely not as good, it's still a fantastic movie, and I am definitely pumped to see what else they do with this series going forward. And those are the case where I think also my top 2 is pretty much the same top 2, so I'm just going very quickly. My number 2 is still Marriage Story, one of the most realistic, beautiful dramas I have ever seen. All that thanks to the excellent performances between Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, who delivered the best performances of their goddamn careers. And this is a great movie on divorce, where it goes back and forth and basically why these kids are getting divorced. So they find out that they still love each other, they know that these to happen, and you feel the heartache and the emotion between these characters. That is just beautiful and breathtaking to watch. The directing is beautiful and real. You also got great performances from Laura Dern, Alan Ada, Rhea Toya. Again, that fight scene is still one of the best acted scenes in recent memory. That just breaks me every single time I watch it. Again, it's definitely not the most easiest movie to watch, honestly, but it's one of those movies when I do come back to it, I appreciate it so much. I think I still need to watch more directed movies, honestly. I know there's some movies I still have not seen yet, but man, he directed this movie with so much like passion and emotion, and it's not really I go back to so often because of how hard it can be to watch at times, but it's really when I do, I appreciate it so much more. And coming, it's Avengers Endgame. I mean, what else would it be, honestly? Avengers Endgame is number 1. That still has not changed, honestly. Like, Avengers Endgame is still, in my opinion, the best MCU movie, and the only big issue with Endgame is I don't think any MCU movie is going to top it. I don't think, especially if they had a lot of great ones with No Way Home and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, actually not in my top 5. I really don't think any of the movies are going to come close to the emotion and the oh my god epic factor of Avengers Endgame. Like, there's so much I can say. I can make like a whole video discussing why this is actually my favorite superhero movie of all time. Yes, I'm dead serious. The movie closes out this amazing Infinity Saga, closes out these great characters in a satisfying way. I know some videos actually like to joke that they kind of don't, and some of them make sense because they're characters. Like, I never got that, honestly, to be honest. But it's a very satisfying, amazing movie that's a great epic for running 3 hours, and just so much emotion, so much realistic. The most real MCU movie. And that's what makes my favorite superhero of all time. And again, don't get me started on the final, but I could gush on that for hours on end. So yeah, Endgame, still my number 1. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed discussing my top 20 best movies of 2019. Let me know down below in the comment section what are your favorite movies of the 2019. Let me know what your favorites. Let me know any movies I missed on the list. What are your favorites? Let me know down below in the comment section. Got a few more videos about these videos, and that'll be in the series. Hope y'all been enjoying it. Now get to 2020s, which is going to be interesting, but I still hope you enjoy. I am Sam One World for Sam One Productions. I will see you next time, and as always, stay cool about it. Peace.